All right. Hello, everyone. This is me, Guillaume. Sorry about the music. I'm Guillaume. This is Stop Losing, Start Trading, the trading show we do every day of the week. No, 3 times a week, where we go over the current news, whatever is happening, and then we are discussing this. I'm joined with also try to trade with the internet account. I'm joined with Rosalie, aka Crypto Queen. How are you doing today, Rosalie?
Good, good. The market's been really great this week, and yeah, I'm very happy to see the great trades and see everybody's trades in the trading competition that we have going on till Monday. And yeah,
Yeah, very interesting. Yeah, I mean the price has been pumping. Uh, it's good for anyone that is long. You can be short or long or neutral on Panoptic, but what we see is that when the price goes up 20% in 7 days, even if you're neutral, it's actually quite hard to manage this. So the price now at 35.60. It was a bit higher overnight. Now it's kind of stabilizing, but definitely something that is good to see on each side. Again, 41% increase in the past month. We can see some of the trading activity that on the on Unichain, but I'm sure those that are ahead are those that are buying options, buying calls mostly. So this is actually the not quite all time high, and not even higher this year, past year. But yeah, how do you feel about the price of ETH now?
good. Yeah, I think it's still got room to grow, but I think everybody seems to be more bullish now, and there's a lot of people building, and the Ethereum Foundation is doing lots of new exciting things. So I think it's good sentiment for sure.
Yeah, I think this is kind of part of it. Is this the I mean foundation? They're not in the goal in the role is not to necessarily pump the price, but they are more active. They are, I think, doing the right things in terms of being at the forefront of the research, but also how they can talk to different lawmakers, different institutions. It used to be, yes, a ghost town. Now it's very, very active. Maybe that's why people are noticing. And I know that the Ethereum ETF influx have been very, very high. But yeah, people are indeed noticing ETH and buying. And yeah, this is why we see such a great move. Again, 129% in 3 months. Typically, it's negative 100%. Now it's positive. It's good to see. Um, yeah, so this is the we'll get jump right to the intern account, but what we do here is discussing trades. Nothing we say is financial advice, but this allows us to go through our thought process, how we trade options, how we think about Panoptic as a way to yes, get exposure to different assets. Uh, yeah, this is the intern's portfolio. Open positions in the green a little bit, but we did a lot of trading a few days where um, everything was positive. We have zero position open, which would maybe make it easier to see, but zero position opens in the ETH USDC, ETH BTC trade, none in the ticker Bitcoin, not in ETH USDC. Again, it's been off, but we were able to take some profits on most of these markets. And now we're at a point where it's time to rebuild new positions. I think the ticker Bitcoin was pretty. I'll show it to you again. We saw it last on Wednesday, but from those transactions, it's actually a pretty. Oh my god. Um, I don't know what's going on with the ticker Bitcoin, but we're 98th percentile in IV, 83 IV rank. This is very, very high. 288 volatility. Um, I would say that this is probably the highest you can be in an asset like. But yeah, let's see. This position that was closed is, I mean, the poster child of this. But yeah, we did close this. It was a bit better position when we talked on Wednesday, but again, intern was able to close this still in the green. But yeah, is this nice to see this PNL in
This is
green?
great, definitely.
Uh,
And yeah, I think they reached a new market cap as well of 119 million, and so
ooh,
the team seems to be doing well and recovering from what was a pretty brutal winter. But since it's the ratio trade, I think there's more upside to it than if you're just trading um,
yes.
one. So
This is great. Yeah, this is now. Yeah, we see a huge increase in price on ETH, but now even ticker Bitcoin overperforms ETH. So this is actually a very good trade. Same thing with the ETH BTC going up. We're kind of a straddle, but it was in the green. We closed the positions in ETH USDC. Which market again do you think interns should trade next? If we go back to the markets page, we'll probably focus on these that have the most liquidity. But which one do you think is
I'd be curious to do a ratio trade with Bitcoin and ETH.
Yeah, perfect. The oh yeah, okay, I don't have the account, but yeah, the ratio has been going up, maybe similarly to the price of ETH. This is again, ETH is overperforming Bitcoin. It used to be the reverse for the past year. Now ETH is back. Are you still bullish the ratio, or what's your assumption there?
Yeah, I think I would be bullish the ratio. I think Bitcoin definitely has achieved some crazy all-time highs, but now it's ETH's turn to grow a little bit more, and I'm hopeful there.
Okay. And there might be the different strategies could be buying a call, a put, a perp, and put spread. Let me see. Sometimes we can, yes, tap into liquidity that is uh, misplaced. This big chunk is out of range, for instance, but there's not much. So I would probably not necessarily do a spread, but yeah, which how we can yeah buy or call or puts, but yeah, which of these four would you try to do? Long call, short put,
Um,
perp, or
I
put
I
spread?
would like to do. I was gonna say put spread as well, but it doesn't look like there's much room to grow there. It seems like it's very steep. So maybe we can do a long call.
Yeah, and again, the liquidity is very small, but yeah, we could try a long call. Um, there is a decent amount of liquidity as well at the current price. Um, this is the payoff of a long call. We haven't done a lot of call buying, but yeah, if you look at this payoff, this looks good. But yeah,
Yeah, I don't know. I think so. How much would it have to increase for us to go into the profit zone? I don't want to be stuck
yeah.
paying.
So we do some forward looking here because this is a monthly option, and we estimate the premium to be a little bit. So maybe like 5% in a month or 2% in a month. It's fine, but yes, the depending on the price move, if you're really bullish and price moves before that 1 month time scale, will likely have a closer break even point. Now we would be if the price goes up by 10% after a month, then we may be entitled to some profits. Um,
Yeah, I don't know. Can we look at the put option instead? I don't know about
yeah,
10%.
because the one thing that is interesting is, I mean, 10% a month, again, still a long time. One thing that there is enough, again, good chunk of liquidity here, the multiplier. I've come to that realization as well, is that anything below maybe 1.2, at least in my view, should be an advantageous position to buy. The multiplier is where you pay more. There's a level where it makes no sense to buy, but there's definitely a level where it makes sense, and we can play into this. And I internally decided that 1.2 was the threshold, so you could imagine having a zero point 0.5 position and buy it. And even if you have to buy, when you have to kind of do like the break even is there, it's cheap compared to what you would get by buying an option, say on Deribit. You can have the short put as well. Also have some break even point, less upside, but it's a different type of trade. Um, this would be
I
where I
think
would
this one,
also be bullish.
yeah, I think this one makes the most sense because since there's always kind of market fluctuation, I wouldn't expect it to really go as high, but I do want to kind of capitalize on some upside, and we still have deposits and holdings, so I don't see this as too much of a threat.
Okay, yeah, I like this. This is also how I view it, is mostly for me to be paid to be selling options, but this is definitely risky. You've gone through wars, so that maybe a downside, unlimited downside, is not scaring you, which is also fine because again, if you have a floor, As long as you're above that, you're okay. So yeah, I would also agree this, and we can jump on the same bandwagon as this position or a bit off. But yeah, this is a nice trade, I would say. Very bullish. Price has to go up by 30% ish for it to go outside of range. It's gone up 30% since a month, but then yeah, there is not like there is some room to play there. So no, I think I agree. This is a good trade. All right, then let me paste this in the YouTube comments. It's as simple as visiting that link for those that are listening, and then you can click on it. If you're not from the US, you can actually trade it. Bunch of numbers and letters, but this is the position you have to go to if you want to trade this. All right, so bullish the ratio. Is there any market that also you want to look at?
Definitely the ETH USDC
Yeah.
pool as well. Do we have open positions there?
No, we close everything. One was a bit of a loser because it was a call, but it was balanced by having a synthetic long, and with our holdings, we're ahead. We've been hit quite badly. We're still maybe down on the year if you want, but we've made it back a little bit by the past few days. Um, yes, this is ETH USDC. Current price is there. I love this liquidity distribution. This is the panoptic liquidity. What's your assumption on the ETH price?
It's bullish as well. So I would be curious to either see maybe like a call spread or a more bullish delta neutral strategy as well. Since I don't know, it's always a little difficult to make these bullish assumptions after such big price moves, right? And so I know that like strangles were kind of hurting most of the people during these really big upward price moves,
Yes.
but maybe it'll recover in a
Exactly.
range
So yeah,
now.
there's actually
So
quite a bit of liquidity in that strike, and I agree with you. The I'm still it's still in flux, so there could still be a reversal. Again, even if you see these jumps, it hasn't really stopped. So we're still in this kind of higher volatility mode where we don't know if it's going to go up or down. So we better be careful by creating these defined risk spreads. This one is very out of range, and then you get paid by selling here. That's also a nice trade. You do have the upside. You're creating profits by, again, you can do a 1 ETH, but you creating profit by going up. We know the max win, max loss. But yeah, this could be a very very interesting trade as well.
definitely could be, but I am a little bit hesitant. I mean, I have a lot of hope, but it looks like I don't know if it'll go much above 4K.
Yeah,
Yeah.
4K could be the upper end. It before it was like, yeah, 45. So but yeah, it's fine to be bullish if it's above 4K. We don't make as much, and that's fine in that specific case because the short and long legs overlap so much. Like all of this in the middle is overlapped. I would also maybe change the width of the option we sell. We can still buy this rather wide one, but we can sell something shorter dated if you want, or narrower. And that means we still have that same upper limit, but then now we earn more fees. Could be, let's say, 50% more fees on that leg. And even if the two are overlapping, will be also net earning. And it's only if the price goes below 3,200 that we're exposed. So this is it's a, yeah, this is like a calendar diagonal, which is buy a longer dated out of the money put, sell and add the money shorter dated option. This is capitalizing on volatility, maybe subsiding a little bit. So we want to stay in that range. Yeah, that's actually also a very good trade. I would also see, and depending on how we scale this is very capital efficient because the max loss is known. So we could certainly have maybe one or two contracts and know very precisely how much we win or lose. But yeah, that's also a very good trade.
Great. Yeah, no, I think this looks good. We'll have to make sure to check in on this on Monday and see what
Yes, and
happens.
also let me paste this in the chat so that the listeners as well can trade this. Again, this is a matter of pasting this and visiting that link. You can also be trading options. But yeah, this is actually very cool. Those two bullish trades. Do you want to revisit maybe the ticker Bitcoin, or we should just wait and have this be it?
Yeah, I think I would love to see another maybe strangle there, just kind of repositioning it a little bit to new ranges.
Yeah. So this one was bullish. Let's quickly go there on the ticker Bitcoin trade. I will go from the portfolio. Oh no. All right. Let me go back to intern. All right. There we go. Yeah, so intern has some deposits, so it's easy to go from the page to the ticker Bitcoin trade. Uh, you said the straddle
Hmm.
and bullish, bearish, neutral.
Yeah, a little bit bullish. And we are betting on ticker Bitcoin outperforming ETH here.
Yes,
Hmm.
yes,
Interesting. So given that I'm quite bullish on ETH with the other trades, right? I assume it might outperform Bitcoin. Maybe, yeah, something a little more centered would make sense here. Then I can't be have two different outlooks, right? On
yeah, because they
price.
did move quite a bit over the past few days. But if we zoom out, they are still quite range bound. So nothing that we see in the current range is too out of the ordinary. On it's been quite range bound, so we can even imagine that we can stay there. Being a bit on the higher end, it's fine. Again, everyone's bullish, but I was all, if we were to be perfectly centered, the upper range is 416, and if we look at this price, it's like oh, we don't show the price. It might be a little bit higher, maybe where my cursor is. So yeah, I would say that this looks like a good vol harvesting strategy. Neutral at the beginning, two legs where we double our capital efficiency, and we hope it's going to be not moving too much, even though it did move quite a bit. Yeah, this is great. Let me also paste this, and then we can have this be monitored by anyone here. Ticker Bitcoin. Oh my god, very very cool. Where can you buy options? Selling straddles on Ticker Bitcoin. I
Nowhere,
know.
only on
So this is
Panoptic.
great. Yeah. So yes, I think that's it. So yeah. Anything else maybe you want to go over?
No, I'm curious what the weekend will bring. We'll check back in. I'm really happy we were able to close some positions and take
Yes.
some profit and kind of build our new strategy now
Yeah, we
for the
can look
rest of the
at. I
month.
think your position shows up here too. But yeah, the activity we've seen is that people are maybe consolidating a little bit. Yeah, this is the one option that intern closed, and again, without bragging, but this was a pretty good trade. Uh, the timing was great, and we have this synthetic long option that is buying a call, setting a put. That we when was closed is 126%. So maybe we can even see this on the all-time high of the week with Brendan in a little bit. But this was also another good trade from intern. If you don't know, if you know, but you can click that button here and haha, see a cool looking P&L chart. You can share to brag, but this is something that can happen there. Very, very cool.
Definitely think it's worth it to brag. You don't want to brag too much, but above
Yeah.
100% looks like yeah.
We've never seen people be bearish, and you could have seen the same profits on the way down if you were doing these short perps or buying puts. But now, yeah, it's much easier to brag when the market's going down. You're happy with your friends. If you brag when the market's brag when the market's going up. But if you brag because, haha, I made money and everybody loses, then yes, it's not as good. So happy to brag. Everybody wins. This is a good trade.
Everybody wins. We're all ETH maxis here, so we're just hoping to have the
Yeah,
ecosystem
perfect.
flourish.
Great, great. Thanks very much, Rosalie. And then, yes, I can stop sharing here. This is Brendan will take over for the second half uh, options trade of the week, maybe a bit more. But yeah, all right. Have a good one, Rosalie.
All right. Well, welcome to the best in trades, worst trades of the week. So we're going to take a look at some of the option trades that our panoptic traders have been putting on over the last week and two of the competition. So yeah, I think you may have touched on this, but Genius Act is rumored to be going in very soon, past the House today, and so we're seeing big spikes in the ETH price. We're up to over 3,500 as of now. Bitcoin has performed a little bit worse over the day, going down, I think, 1% or more. But given the competition started on Unichain ETH options pool on Panoptic 2 weeks ago, we are quite up at the price there since the contest started. So we're going to take a look at some of the best and worst categories here. I'll share my screen, and if we freeze, maybe you can pull it up. But right now, so if you see, we have a countdown timer, 3 days left in this competition that started on July 7th. Lots of prizes here to be featured for the best and worst traders. Consolation prize that we'll reveal at the end for the worst trader. And we have different categories. So even if you best trader, maybe you can also win the best volume or the best streamer or the worst streamer. So quick look at the stats here. So we have some different categories here: P&L volume, Streamia, which is basically your streaming premia with the perpetual options, and the best and worst trade. So here on the leaderboard, 0x6898 is doing quite well in P&L and their volume. But so yeah, we'll take a look at each one, and Guillaume will play the guessing game and see if he can guess kind of what trades each trader put on, and hopefully you'll be able to kind of get a better idea of different option strategies. Are they bullish, bearish, etc. when we look at these? I'll give you a hint that this trader, I believe, has only put on one option position. So if you were to guess which option position would net this user 33% for first place right now, what do you think is the option strategy they're using?
Got to be a call, buying call option, and then the stream is only when they close a position, or it's the ongoing one.
So Streamia is going to be netted across all your positions, but only the ones that have been closed before the competition.
So you cannot cheat if it was ongoing and then you see a negative. It means that they are still paying. So yeah, I would also say it's a call option.
Okay, sweet. So so you think they purchased a call option, even though I will give you a hint here. The Streamia here is positive, so they're actually earning some Streamia here. So let's dive in and take a look at the position. So 0x6898. We can actually even look at their collateral. It's kind of like Hyperliquid. You can spy on each account what they're doing. So this user deposited, a little bit of ETH, less than 0.01, and then 141 USDC. So they have about 150 bucks in their account, and they opened a position. It was actually an LP position, which we label as a short put. They're the same thing. So LP equals options here is the short put is the LP position. And they opened this position, and a nice 46% P&L gain. And this is primarily due to the price going up. Most of their earnings is because the ETH price went from about 2,700 a week ago to when they closed at 3,200. If they had kept it open for longer, they would have made even more. But this is one of the most improved trades so far of the competition. And positions means that they're going to benefit when the price goes up. So big gains for this user, putting them at first place in the current Panoptimus category.
Yeah, this is the best case scenario for
any thoughts or comment on this user's position?
Yeah, exactly.
Or any subs here?
the way you want to see this is that you are minting towards the lower side of your range, and you burn it when it passes through and goes to the upper side. So this one is actually like the best way to set it up. And they were lucky to see and write that whole price move. It could have been wrong, but then yes, it went the same way exactly time. This is perfect.
Laggy on my end, but hopefully
Yeah.
hopefully you can hear me. If you can't, let me
Also,
know.
I have to kind of, I don't know if
Um,
Rosalie can actually take over too. I have to leave, unfortunately, I have another meeting. Sorry to speak over, but I'll have Rosalie take the mic instead of me. Hello, and then I have to go. But yes, everyone, thanks. This is great to see these trades. Again, you cannot do this anywhere else. These leverage LP positions, they probably got paid, maybe not more, but yeah, they got paid a good amount of fees. But this is very, very cool to see. All right, so I'll have Rosalie handle the rest. I have to go, but have a good weekend. And yeah, I'm excited to see about the other trades. Yes, I'll leave you to Brennan and Rosalie. See ya.
Sweet, no problem.
Awesome.
Well, hopefully my Wi-Fi lasts here, but we're gonna look at the best and worst Streamia now. So we have a couple of accounts here. So if you see on the leaderboard, the Penny Picker and the Big Tipper are the names for the best and worst Streamia. Worst Streamia meaning that you're paying the most in Premia. So you're basically buying a lot of options. So yeah, we'll play the guessing game again here. Overall, this Streamia is netted across all your positions, and so currently the lead candidate for winning the penny picker is 0x1487. So if you had to guess across their positions, do you think they're mostly selling call options or selling put options, or a mix of both?
Definitely more on the bullish strategies given the recent price move of ETH. So definitely call options.
Well, let's take a look at their position here. Again, apologies for the lag. So we can actually spy on their account here, as you see with this beautiful pink banner telling us that we're in spectator mode. One thing I love about bit laggy. Let me yes, let's see. I'll join here. Okay, I think you can hear me now. Pretend.
Yes, much better.
All right, and so we'll look at this account here. So yeah, they're all actually put options. So this account has only been selling put options. Now you're gonna earn the same Streamia as from a put option as a call option potentially. So it was kind of a trick question because there's no way you would have known. 50-50 chance here. But as we see here, there was 4 different put options, which are basically just LP positions earning a bit more in Panoptic. And yeah, this account has actually not only netted over $400 in Streamia, but also had a huge amount of P&L. So in fact, they're also not only the penny picker, but the sniper. So with this position here, netting $863 with their short put is also the best performing position, I believe, in this competition. So
Wow, I'm really surprised. Yeah, they must have chosen a really good range. This is
yeah, so
great.
their range here is 26.44 to 33.61. As we know, the ETH price is currently a bit higher than that, at 35.50 or 35.70 about right now. And so, yeah, the price has zoomed out of their range. They did close the position a bit early, which is fine because they still made a significant amount from the price moving up. And they did really well on the premium earning side as well because their Streamia is actually about a quarter of their whole P&L. So 1/4 of it from fees and 3/4 of it from just being right on the price movement here. 4 days is how long, about 4 days is how long the position was left open. And this has been the most successful trade during these bullish times right now.
Great, nice.
Sweet. Well, let's switch over to the noob now. This is the worst trade of the competition. So as we see here, genlo.eth with one of the worst trades, losing 13.16. It's also this user's best trade, so they probably only put on one trade. So if you had to guess, the ETH price went up. What do you think is going to do poorly during this competition?
Definitely, probably buying. One of the more bearish strategies. I could imagine that maybe it could have also been strangle that was maybe out of range, but given that most of our users just do single-legged options, I would assume that it's probably a short call that kind of went out of range too much, or it could be a long put as well. Yeah, I don't know.
Yes, that's a very, very good guess here. So let's take a look and see how you did. And you are correct. Somebody sold a call option just 2 days ago, and that position has been doing very poorly. As we know, the ETH price went up. This is a bearish position, so they're basically kind of short on ETH, and price goes up, so they definitely bet wrong here. Now, they have been buffered a little bit, so they earned $341 in Streamia, so bringing their losses down a little bit, so they lost less. And this is where in options we always talk about how even when you're wrong, you can still be winning. In this case, they're wrong and they're losing, but they're losing less than they would if they just shorted a perp on Hyperliquid, thanks to this Streamia buffer. But overall, yeah, this position started out kind of out of the money, went deeply in the money. As we know from the option seller's perspective, this is a really bad thing to happen for you. So the price went the wrong way, and they currently are netting about an 11% loss here. Now they are still in range, so they're earning fees still, unlike the other position that went out of range. This range goes all the way to 3,976. But maybe they're aiming for the consolation prize. Maybe they want the consolation prize. So we'll see here.
Or yeah, this might also be a hedge, given that they were comfortable with choosing such a wide range, or they were really just thinking it was done with ETH going up, and that was it was doomed to go back down quickly. But maybe best case scenario, this is just a hedge. So
yeah, it's a great point you bring up there, because it's quite odd to put in a bearish position, but with the price range to go all the way up. So obviously they either thought the price was going to go down because it's a bearish position, or they thought the price would stay in between this 3,100 to 4,000 range, because that's where they set their price range. So these are a little bit of a different type of option. They're perpetual options. As long as they stay between this price range that you get to set as a user, they accumulate premium every block, kind of like a funding rate each block. When the position goes out of range, so either the price drops below 3,100 or above 4,000 in this case, the funding rate turns to zero, and you basically stop earning, stop losing. But yeah, so anyways, we have a very interesting position here, a short call that has done poorly over the last 2 days because the price rising. So hopefully we now know short calls equals bearish, means don't do that if you think the market's going to go up. Or maybe this is a hedge, as you said. So it could be a covered call. In fact, let's take a look. I think we can actually see if this is a covered call or not. And if you were a astute listener of our previous
looks like Brennan's internet gave up on him, but I think he did mention that this was the best trade of this user as well. So it was probably one of the only positions that they had open. But I'm curious to see as well. Hopefully, Brandon comes back.
Yes, I'm back. I hope. Sorry for the disappearance there. So yes, let's switch real quick to actually take a look at their positions. I think you mentioned they may or may not have other positions, or they might just be hedging their collateral. So if you look at this market.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right. You mentioned that it was their best trade as well. So I would assume maybe they only had one position, but they could definitely still have Uniswap LP positions somewhere else. But maybe they were just really, really bearish and that misplaced their range a little bit.
Yeah. So actually, if we take a look here at the count, we see they've deposited they've deposited 12 ETH in collateral and no USDC. So they're actually fully into ETH. Then they opened a short call. So they sold a call on top of their ETH collateral. So this is actually your classic covered call position. If we toggle on this include deposits button, we'll see the overall effect on their portfolio. So overall, they're actually extremely bullish on the market, and they were indeed hedging their collateral bags of their 12 ETH. And so
I had a feeling it was really they had a lot of money at stake in that position, and the range was really wide. I would assume like that someone like that might really have a purpose for what they're doing and not just throwing thousands of dollars out the window for no reason. So I'm really glad to.
Indeed,
to
it was a very large position. Their option that they sold is worth 42,000 USDC. So yeah, don't discount our Panoptic users. They're very efficient, as we see from this chart. They know how to provide liquidity properly. You know, compare this to, I don't know if, yeah, we can't see the Uniswap chart, but the Uniswap chart has all sorts of ineffective out-of-range liquidity. As we see here in Panoptic, we have some pretty smart users, and this user is a hedger. So once again, can't just look at positions in isolation, as illustrated here. This portfolio overall is moderately bullish, and so has been kind of hedging their bags and earning some yield in the meantime. So I think we just have one more category to go through, which is the highest volume, but no surprise here. It's actually the same user who has we'll share this tab instead, who has the best P&L, has the best trade as well. And so, yeah, we can take a look here. This user would also probably have the best P&L overall if they hadn't withdrawn all of their collateral. But if we look at kind of their history, they have, I think, over $200,000 in trading volume over the last week and a half. And let's see, wait, I might be on the wrong one. So let's switch to here. But yeah, over 200,000 in volume, mostly from opening a lot of LP positions. They're earning a bit more on Panoptic, in some cases up to 200% more if the option is popular. And we see this as evidenced by the huge amounts of Streamia they're earning. But yes, we see lots and lots of positions open, pretty high notional values on each position, about 10 to 30K positions. And that is netting them also the big bags prize here. So we still have 3 more days left. Nothing is final yet. And we have seen people overtake the first place in many competitions. So I would not be put my money necessarily on any of these winners as of now. I think there are quite a few positions that haven't been closed that could be added on to people's Streamia score. Now the rest of the scores, volume, P&L percent, best trade, worst trade, those are all reflected even if your position has not been closed. So it's just the Streamia column that you will need to close your position before the competition ends in 3 days. So keep an eye out for that. But Rosalie, how are you feeling about the competition, and any advice? Obviously not financial advice, but any advice for our traders here going into the weekend before the competition ends on Monday?
Yeah, definitely. I would say those of you who are on the leaderboard for Streamia, make sure that you kind of watch the market on Sunday or Monday and close those positions. And then for anybody else, there's still time to trade and to join our competition. We'll have some more competitions as well down the line, but it looks like people are having a lot of fun. And I mean, it's easy to, have a good time when the market is bullish. So, but, we're happy to see the price go up and ETH go up. And also, I think a big thing is really to look at your whole portfolio. As we saw, the person who was losing the most, clearly it was a strategic hedge. And so sometimes it makes sense to, I know we have a lot of like tabs and little gimmicks that are hard to find sometimes on our website, but we try to provide as much information and data to help everybody trade as efficient as possible. So, you can always ask us questions in Discord and reach out if you are kind of a little bit lost, and we can direct you to where you will find the information on our app. But yeah.
Yes, and there's this great button here in the settings, get help, with a Discord icon. You might not be able to, oh yeah, I'll zoom in here so you can see it better on the share screen. But you can always get help. Rosalie will be on the other end typing away on her keyboard to help support you in finding the info you need. But yes, this has been very exciting. Thanks for joining us with this best and worst trades segment. We'll cover kind of the winners and losers next Monday and reveal the big prizes, and also what is this consolation prize? Who knows? We'll find out what the noob will be winning and picking up to console them of their losses on Monday. So stay tuned. Next Monday, we'll see you then. Let's cue the music here as we outro. But yeah, I guess we will see you all next week. Stay tuned. Monday, Wednesday, Friday, we do this show every week, 3 times a week. Tuesday, we do a research segment. All morning times or about noontime, Eastern time, East Coast. So nighttime Asia, if you're listening to us to fall asleep. Thanks for tuning in, and we will see you all next week.
Thank